Have you ever met someone who just seems perfect? So charming, so smart, so right? But then something feels a little off. It's a really chilling feeling, and today we're going to get into exactly why that is.
He was too good to be true. Those are the words of Deborah Newell, and she was talking about the man who the world would come to know as Dirty John. It's a phrase you hear over and over in these stories, and it perfectly sets the stage for what we're diving into.
Because let's be real, we're not talking about some cartoon villain here. We're talking about someone who could be your neighbor, that amazing new person you're dating, or that superstar at work. They hide right out in the open. Okay, let's get into it.
So how in the world do they pull it off? How do they blend in so perfectly? Well, it all comes down to a concept that experts call the perfect mask. This idea, the mask of sanity, it's brilliant. It comes from a psychiatrist named Hervey Cleckley. And what he figured out is that psychopathy isn't about being obviously crazy, it's about putting on an incredible performance of being totally normal. They are master mimics, reflecting back exactly what they know you want to see. And this right here shows you that split perfectly. On the outside, look at that left column, you get all the good stuff, charming, smart, sincere. But inwardly, behind the curtain, it's a completely different story. Empty, chaotic, and fundamentally dishonest. It's like a beautiful stage with no actors and nothing happening backstage.
All right, so if we're brave enough to peek behind that mask, what are we actually going to find? Let's break down some of the key traits that experts are always on the lookout for.
Cleckley actually came up with this whole checklist. Now, we're not going to go through every single one, but just look at the themes popping up here. You see this captivating surface that's hiding a deep core of just unreliability, deceit, and a total inability to connect with anyone on a real emotional level.
Let's zoom in on a couple of these, starting with that superficial charm. Criminal analyst Laura Richards absolutely nailed it when she said, "Charm disarms." For a psychopath, charm isn't just a part of their personality, it's a tool. It's a weapon they use to get your guard down so they can win you over before you have any clue what's really going on.
Now, this next part is fascinating. What happens when you actually call them out on something? Do they take responsibility? No way. They are masters at flipping the script. They immediately go into victim mode, talking about some past trauma or how they've been wronged, and before you know it, you're the one feeling sorry for them. And then there's this unbelievable, rock-solid self-confidence. They talk a really good game, right? They make themselves out to be the smartest, most successful person you've ever met. But if you actually do a little digging, you'll often find that their real-life experience doesn't even come close to the story they're selling.
So you might be thinking, is this all just a bunch of bad choices, or could there be something deeper going on, something biological? Well, let's take a look inside the psychopathic brain and see what the science says.
Turns out, research is showing us that there are real physical differences in the brain. Take the prefrontal cortex. That's basically the brain's brake pedal, the part that controls impulses. In some psychopaths, it seems to be underactive. It's like driving a car with faulty brakes. And then you have the amygdala, the emotion center. That can also be running on low, making it hard to process things like fear or empathy.
And it's not just the hardware, it's the software too, the brain chemistry. The dopamine system, that's the engine that makes us seek rewards, can be stuck in overdrive, pushing them to chase thrills no matter the cost. Meanwhile, serotonin, which helps us hit the brakes, might be out of whack. And get this, even oxytocin, the love hormone, can be hijacked and used to make their victims trust them more easily.
So what happens when you combine all these manipulative traits with this very specific brain chemistry? Well, you get a pretty predictable and often devastating pattern of behavior that leaves a real trail of destruction. All that internal chaos has to go somewhere, and very often it leads to self-medication. This survey looked at people with narcissistic personality disorder, which has a lot of overlap with psychopathy, and found that more than 2/3 of them use addictive behaviors just to cope, to constantly chase a high or just soothe themselves.
And this destruction isn't just in personal relationships. At work, it can be an absolute nightmare. This mnemonic, DREAM, is actually a super helpful tool for spotting the pattern. They dominate conversations. They retaliate if you question them. They exploit their coworkers. They have this incredible arrogance, and they manipulate everyone to get what they want.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, and it can feel pretty scary. So let's get to our last and honestly our most important section, how you can protect yourself. Because you are not defenseless. You actually have a primal defense system built right in.
So the big question is, how do you turn it on? How do you keep yourself safe from all this?
Listen, if you only remember one single thing from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Trust your gut. That feeling you get in the pit of your stomach, the little hairs that stand up on your arms, that is not you being crazy. That is your early predator alert system screaming at you. We're so often taught to ignore it, to be polite. Don't. Your intuition knows what's up long before your logical brain does. And on top of that, here are 4 super practical, actionable things you can do. First, slow the relationship way, way down. They love to rush things. Second, stop oversharing. Don't just hand them a roadmap of your deepest fears and vulnerabilities. Third, watch how they act under stress. When things don't go their way, that mask starts to slip. And finally, if it all seems a little too perfect, do your homework. Check their stories. Verify.
I'm going to leave you with this final thought. The greatest trick a psychopath ever pulls isn't wearing the mask, it's convincing you that there is no mask at all. So, maybe take a second and ask yourself, in your life right now, who are you giving the benefit of the doubt to?